Thank you, Mayor, and I want to start by thanking you for your really strong leadership during this really challenging time. So thank you so much. And, I'll just start by saying there are just so many Washingtonians who have literally lost everything in a very, very short period of time. Just in a matter of hours, their lives changed in deeply dramatic and fundamental ways. And so it's difficult to find words when folks have experienced a loss like that. But we want all those individuals to know that we are all here for the long haul. We have a lot of crises right in front of us that we're working through, but we know that this is going to be a long-term challenge for many, many individuals, and we're here for the long haul. I also want those folks to know that there is very strong cooperation through all levels of government, many different sectors, to work through this together. All of us and many others had very productive conversations already, starting with yesterday afternoon. So I want folks to know that is happening. And also to the first responders who, just speaking as governor, it's inspiring to me to see folks who, take on an extraordinarily challenging situation like this and put their lives on the line to protect individuals' lives and property and loved ones. So we're deeply, deeply grateful to all of you. I'll just make a few points about a few items that the state is focused on. I did just about half an hour or so ago have a conversation with President Trump and Secretary Mullen. The President was very gracious, as was Secretary Mullen, who I spoke with 2 times earlier in the day today. I spoke to the President about what's going on and spoke in pretty clear fashion about how dire the situation is. He understands that. He knew that going into the call. He expressed his support for what the people are going through out here. And I deeply appreciate him taking time from his obviously busy schedule to hear about what's happening from folks on the ground and to offer their support, and to Secretary Mullen as well. We also appreciate that when we had the historical floods not too long ago in the state, that we received emergency support in the short term as well as long-term FEMA support. So we have strong relationships with the federal government from that experience and with FEMA. As for FEMA, just to be clear, when we make requests for federal assistance from FEMA, I'm going to oversimplify this a little bit, but there are essentially 2 kinds of requests. Short-term emergency response, for example, search and rescue, clearing debris. We just got off a call. Many of the folks here were there for a call that I had with FEMA's Region 10 administrator to make that request for specific items needed in the very short term. So that request has gone in, and we anticipate that that will be granted much in the same way it was for the flood. We have a good relationship with FEMA and had a very productive call, and we appreciate FEMA on extremely short notice taking the time to work with us. And we also appreciate all of our local partners who we depend on to get the information of what the needs are on the ground. We had that meeting earlier today and communicate that to FEMA, and so we do anticipate that being granted in the near future. The second piece from FEMA is the more long-term relief. That takes more time. Obviously, we've already begun our work on that, but just want to separate out those 2 things. So the request has gone in for that short-term, what we call emergency assistance from the administration, but obviously simultaneously we're going to get to work on that long-term assistance as well. Maybe just last thing I'll say is, I lived in Spokane for a time after I finished law school. I know this community well. My son's about to go to Gonzaga, so we know this community well. My daughter was playing in a softball tournament at Dwight Merkle Ball Fields about 6 weeks ago. She played there last year. When I come to Spokane, which is frequently, I don't stay in a hotel. I stay at a friend's place, which is a house that had to be evacuated. I don't know how that house is doing, but we stay at a location that is extremely close to where I know homes were destroyed. So I'm very, very familiar with the communities that are impacted. I stay there on a regular basis. I walk those neighborhoods. I know it well. My daughter plays on the ball fields. I have an appreciation for the impact at that very, very local level and how devastating that is for so many individuals. So again, we're in for the long haul. Deeply appreciate the strong partnership, and one of those key partners, of course, has been Senator Cantwell, who's with us today, and I'll turn it over to Senator Cantwell now.